Hey guys, it's Postboxpat. Welcome back to the brand new map change video. In today's video, we are on now the 4th stage of the water lowering, and there are so many map changes in today's video. I'm going to be doing the video a little bit differently, so rather than going over each point and kind of like snapping to each location, I'm going to actually fly around the map and show you guys everything as we go through. Obviously, I'll do flashback moments as well, show you guys some important things which have completely gone. You're not going to want to miss any of these map changes. As always, guys, don't forget to smash that subscribe. Roughly 80% of you guys aren't subscribed, and it would mean the world to me if we could try to get to 550,000 subscribers. I reckon we can do it, so smash that subscribe. Okay, so first off, over at this section of the map, obviously the water's just lowered, no changes right here. But the biggest change here is actually the shark. So the shark is now fully revealing itself, almost to the point where we're actually inside of the shark. So we've kind of got the shark head revealing itself here, you can see, but obviously the actual structures are still on their way of revealing. So this won't be long at all. I assume this will probably be in the next update or in the next lowering stage, which I think might be this Tuesday when the update pops, and I'll explain a little bit more about that as we get into it. Okay, so let's continue going through. We've got our fish stick army place over here, obviously the coral chorus people, and this actually the coral chorus haven't really done too much at all. All it's done is lowered down. Obviously, they've got their new base outpost by the lighthouse. So, continuing through, some of the biggest changes we have is obviously boats have started to disappear. We talked about that in the last one. There aren't as many boats around here. This boat is still in the same sort of position, kind of shifted a little bit, but not too much. I think it was actually slightly more forward, and it's moved back slightly to allow room for this here. So that's really nice. Then obviously over at Sweaty Sands, it still remains very, very similar. The water is getting lower here, but all of the structures are still floating. Other than the caravan park, which has now got its kind of like little land kind of structure, you can see they're starting to give it its land structure, then it's still floating as well. So it's almost hitting the surface, but it's not 100% floating as it used to be, like it used to be higher up, and we've still got this glitched one under here. But the biggest change on this side of the map, in my opinion, is over by Pleasant Park. Now, if you haven't already landed in at Pleasant Park this season, as I've been saying, over at Pleasant Park, it's actually been getting developed and getting cleaned up. Now, Pleasant Park got completely cleaned up the last update, which I showed you guys, where all of the forklift trucks were moving around. And now it's been completely cleaned, the water's gone, and they've actually deflated all of the no sweat insurance safety procedures, and obviously allowed that to now build Pleasant Park again. And here we have it, Pleasant Park to the back the way it was back at the start of chapter 2 season 1, because obviously there is no opening up on the actual football pitch. So everything's back to normal here. You can come and check it out. Pleasant has returned to its OG kind of positioning, and obviously the only difference here now are these wind turbines, which I have a feeling these may get taken down, but there are challenges on them, so maybe they will stay throughout the entire season. The only reason these wind turbines were here was to allow for easier rotation because of the water, but now the water's gone, I have a feeling they may go, but obviously with challenges there, maybe not. But we have seen challenges disappear. For example, over the rig last week, the rig completely disappeared for one of the challenges. So interesting stuff there on that side. Also, guys, don't forget to go and use code Postboxpat in the item shop. Here are a bunch of shoutouts for those doing that, buying the new Renegade emote. Thank you everybody doing that. We're trying to get to over 5,000 supporters, so don't forget to go and support me. And if you'd like a shout out for supporting me, all you got to do is go over to my Discord or Twitter and let me know, and I'll put you guys in these videos. We don't get that many people doing it, so feel free, guys. I love to give you guys shout outs in the video, so thank you everybody doing that. Okay, so obviously over here we have Salty Springs now. Now Salty is fully revealed, and the first thing that came to my mind at Salty was, has it gone back to its kind of season 2 original form? And I was thinking no, because when I go in this house we don't see any kind of breakage in the flooring where obviously Midas's chair fell through, and that leads on to the topic of Midas's chair. We'll come back over to this section in a minute because I've got some stuff to point out over at the Authority and at Risky, but if we head over this direction, because I want to come back this way in a minute, I want to show you guys some important stuff. Now obviously I talked about this in the last one. This house here was the last house remaining on its insurance kind of float, and now the float has been removed, so the farm is fully back up and functional. However, the no sweat storage building is officially gone. Now, I'll take you guys a little bit of a flashback here to the no sweat insurance building. We actually saw gnomes in here. We also saw Midas's chair. Now, these have completely gone. Now, if you want my honest opinion on this, I do think these items will get back put in the game in the next update. So I think we may be able to find Midas's chair again somewhere else on the map. If we don't manage to find Madis's chair, then there is something crazy going on with obviously the removal of No Sweat's storage building, and it really didn't protect any of the stuff. It completely got wiped out by the water and it's been completely destroyed. So that's going to be a real rip to Madis's chair if that is the end of his chair, and also if it's the end of the gnomes and teddy bears in there as well doing the Punch and Judy show. So it's a shame to see it go, but let's hope that the No Sweat storage building gets placed. Say, I think there's room for it around here. It's kind of like a big flat area. Obviously the river runs through here usually, but I do think there could be room for it in this section of the map. So that's what we're hoping for. Obviously it's not guaranteed. For those that love landing at Steamy, it's now fully back 100% now. You've even got the water even lower now, so you've got a good amount of space to build fight around there if you want to. So good spot to land at right now. Not many people will be going there because they wouldn't have been going at the start of the season. Okay, we'll come back to this section again towards the end where I go and show off some other stuff over up there by obviously the top of the map section where Camp Cod is around there. So what I want to show you guys now though is over at the Authority. So this one's pretty cool because I didn't expect this at all. So if we head into the Authority, I was thinking this was going to open up on the actual update day, but it's actually uploaded itself today. Or why did I say uploaded? You know, files have updated. That's what I mean. So the files have been updated. They've obviously been uploaded to the servers to allow this to happen. And you can see that there. That's perfect. You know, it's ready for cars. That's what it's there for. Cars are going to be coming in and out of here, I assume, and we're going to be getting kind of like a road leading across or a bridge or something very, very soon. Or even if the water lowers further. I don't think it'll go any lower though, because they want to keep the classic boat streaming. You know, boats usually go around. But wow, look at this place. It really does look like a big fort. And for those wondering as well, Fortnite, do you get it? No, that's not a really good joke, but you know, it does look a big fort. And then obviously you have some other structures here. You've got the big trees and all that sort of stuff. So I do like that. These are new changes, by the way, these trees. Last week we only had this big tree coming in and a few of the smaller ones on this side, but now we've got trees all around. So obviously they put them in here to harvest more resources, and this wall itself is crazy to drive your boat around. Like getting your boat through like these narrow bits is really hard to do. I already tried this actually, so definitely worth coming to try out the boats around here because of this huge big structure which now surrounds the Authority. So they've really got control of the map here. It's giant, really. You've got to build up like 3 walls or even more to get over it now, so it's really tall. Obviously the zip lines still remain though, which is a nice little way, and obviously the water is still here but very low now in this section, almost back to the original state. It might even be getting a little bit lower, maybe potentially. I don't think it will because, you know, in the original state and form this was here and this was like where you would go, you know what I mean? This would always be here. You'd have the classic agency here, so I do think this is the lower the water will go, but we'll see, won't we? We will see what's going to happen on that side of stuff. So I said I wanted to rotate back this way. That's because there's a bunch of changes over as we further get into it. For those wondering about the woods over here, Weeping Woods, that has officially revealed itself even further now, guys, and Weeping Woods is now almost always kind of able to be landed at because obviously a few of the trucks are tipped, which is nice. You know, these changes here from the water effects. You can now use the reboot van, which is awesome, and obviously over at the woods itself, these buildings are all still trashed. I covered this in the last video. You can see all the structures down here. When the water does go down, these will all be trashed still. All these like things just floating around. There's even fish in the back of here. Look at that. How cool is that? He's now carrying fish. I don't know if he always did that, but I don't think he did because if you check the other one, has he got fishing haze? Oh, he has. Maybe he did. I don't know. I don't remember that 100%. But, you know, you can see here, this is really awesome. And I think generally this is a great spot. But if we go over a little bit over here, you know, there's an Easter egg section inside of here. Now, this was where the classic Gnomes and Bear Easter egg was. And it looks like that still remains in its party form when they first formed. It even has the Season 2 map on here. So, you know, there's some really interesting stuff going on here. You can see, obviously, we've got the rig down there at the bottom left. We've got the shark up there. And we can see the yacht as well is kind of further to the right. You know, the yacht was never there. The yacht was always up there. So not too sure why it was positioned there on the map, but it is. But, you know, it's pretty cool, I guess. And then obviously you can see here, our teddies are down here and our gnome is back in the prison. So are we going to get kind of like a flashback maybe? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see where the storyline is going to take us with that because our gnomes are still even on the outside here. They've returned as well. So we've got a lot of stuff going on with these gnomes and we found them again. But they're coming back and it's like a complete flashback to maybe the entire of kind of Chapter 2, Season 2. And maybe the storyline isn't going to end as it did with the gnomes and kind of obviously Teddy. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen there. Now this boat, for those wondering about this is actually moved as well. So this boat officially wasn't here last week. So the boat was actually further up, actually ahead of the Slurpy Swamp, which is now revealing as well. It was actually here. And what else has been removed, for those wondering what was right here? It was actually the old rubble area, which actually connected up with obviously Logjam over there. And there's a road here as well, which has now been revealed here. There's a little bit of a flashback on screen, so you can see that. So yeah, I hope that flashback does give you a little bit of a memory of this section over here. So it's nice to see these changes coming in. Obviously, it's revealing the roads ready to go. There's also a gas station in here, which kind of gives me the feeling that the update itself is actually going to lower the water again, because why would they put a gas station sign in here if there's no gas station here just yet? So I'm feeling, you know, on Tuesday, I actually think the water might go down one more. Like, we're not going to get many days of it in this form if cars are going to come in then. Or cars may come in, like, they may do the update, no cars come in, and then cars may come in the following week, but are in the files. So definitely we'll break it down as obviously that happens, and I'll keep you guys updated of all the updates as always. So continuing through a little bit further, obviously this boat still remains in the same position. The rig is still in its same state. Unfortunately, we did lose half of the rig, or a third of the rig, should I say, which was the one with the part of the crane on. That isn't here, and I don't think it will return because they removed the challenge for it. So they didn't even know themselves, but it's funny that maybe the team that write the challenges don't write the map changes. So yeah, interesting stuff on that side. Other than that, we haven't got really too much going on here. You can kind of see the old water height here where the whirlpool was. This is the original height of the water, and now this is all revealing. One little thing that people have been asking me is this golden gnome in here. It's still here. Don't know why, but he's been here for a while. He's probably going to be here for the rest of the season as well. So let's continue moving through. Obviously, this section of the map won't get any changes just yet because the water level was never high enough to actually affect any of this area. We do have a few other locations which we can go and check by. Obviously, we'll fly through around here. Nothing over at Catty Corner section. I was expecting maybe a few changes to the road up here. You know, these have been like this for a while. The development of this building here is still going on, and obviously Catty Corner's getting a big development. So Catty Corner's really upgrading there. Hopefully this section will maybe even connect in with Catty Corner fully. I don't know. Let's hope it. All right, so let's keep moving through a little bit over here where Camp Cod is. We have our little kind of sniper tower peeping out of the water a little bit, which is nice. Obviously, we've got this section over here as well where the barn itself is getting a little bit bigger and on top of the hill, as it's kind of been as it was last week, but you know, it's kind of fully revealed now, and obviously we're getting more sections being revealed. For example, this section over here, the water tower is now fully aware of itself being out of the water, and the little kind of chest person is on top giving us a little bit of a wave. He was always here, but you can kind of see where the water level was, because the water level was actually up to his knees at the start of this season, or just a little bit lower. So kind of cool to see that. Okay, let's head over to the grotto and see what we've got over there, see our final little changes. And obviously we've got a few other changes as I rotate around here. You can see the water is just generally lowered along the coastline. Nothing too major to point out and be like, oh, there's something. Obviously there's just little things like chests and stuff and vehicles that you can gain access to, which might be car spawns when cars get added in, because we're not too sure how obviously the car spawns are going to work. Grotto section, for those wondering, the door of the grotto is still closed, so I don't think we're going to see the return of it, but you just never know. Fortnite may add it in the update, we just don't know, because we are almost at the stage now where the grotto could be revealed, because you can kind of land in here, grab this chest. It kind of makes sense for it to return, only because they've got like a huge POI area for it here. I do have a feeling we may even see the grotto return. Maybe, imagine if the grotto returns and that's where Black Manta's army is. Potentially. I do have a feeling that possibly could be what we get in the update. I'll keep you guys updated though, because the grotto has a chest in its nose, and why would it just put a random chest in its nose if no one's going to really go to that? Like, you can't even get to it without building up to it. So it's an interesting spot. Obviously you could glide in, but why would you land there? There's definitely something going on at the grotto in my opinion. Then obviously we have this section over here where we kind of get some details about what's going to happen next over by our docks. You know, the docks are revealing. Are they going to be delivering new stuff in? Possibly. I do think the docks does need a little bit of a tidy up, and I think that's what we'll see in the next update. For example, boats like this will get taken off. All the seaweed and stuff will be removed, and we'll see a little bit of a better tidy up at the docks. Also, guys, for those wondering, the docks didn't take too much damage. It's got a bit of damage. You can see a bunch of cars are tilted, and actually it's quite a lot of damage, but nothing too major compared to other POIs. So docks might get itself fully actually it is quite bad. Maybe I'm wrong with that one, but I think we might see it get cleaned up. So yeah, the docks is there for those wondering. And then obviously if we head over to the other side of the map, there's one last map change I want to show you guys, which is a huge one for all those that have been following the recent storyline with the development of recent characters which have been added in this season, which is all the way over here. You know that Risky has been revealed. There is no cleanup yet over at Risky, still remains the same as we fly by there. Then obviously Pleasant to return, as I mentioned at the start of the video, and we keep going through to this back section of the map. So there's one last thing I want to show you guys, which is just so cool, and I think all of you guys are going to like this. So don't forget to like a video if you haven't already, or like this video, or like any of my videos. Thank you. It only takes a second, guys. It takes less than a second. You can do it right now as we fly over to this section, which you can see right here, which is the development of this crane. So here we have the crane. Obviously, the crane itself has lifted the car and the smaller crane out of the water. The only development here is obviously the seaweed, which still remains on here. The house itself still has the car crashed through, which is now being picked up by double cranes. And obviously, if we head over to this section, he has returned, or has arrived, shall I say, rather than returned, because we already know he was here. Obviously, the toilet man, he's back. He's out of the water and he's ready to go. There is actually a chest in him as well, for some reason, if you want to get a chest from him. I wouldn't even land here, to be honest. It's a very weird spot to land, but if you decide to travel by helicopter or boat, you can always come and get a chest from Toilet Boy over here. So yeah, here he is. He's absolutely chilling. I don't know who he is or what he is or what name we could call him, but yeah, he's cool. I love him, and hopefully we see him move. Maybe not. I think he'll be a challenge, to be honest. I do think he'll be like Dropper the Toilet Man, or the Toilet Woman, or the Toilet Dude, or the Toilet, whatever they want to call it. I think it'll be like Drop It Toilet statue, and it'll be like a challenge. That's my opinion on it anyway. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Smash a like, smash a subscribe. Let me know your favorite map changes today's video. There's been a lot of sad ones, seeing the removal of obviously No Sweat and seeing the gnome storyline reset, kind of. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the future. And once again, this is Postboxpat signing out.